On June 28, 1778, the British Army was marching across New Jersey toward New York. Philadelphia was behind them, while thousands of British soldiers, wagons, and artillery moved across the countryside. But Washington's Continental Army was following closely, waiting for the right moment to strike. This was no longer the exhausted army that had suffered through the terrible winter at Valley Forge.
Eyes front!
Months of training and discipline had transformed the Continental soldiers into a more organized fighting force. Washington now believed his army was ready to challenge the experienced British in open battle. As the British column crossed New Jersey, Washington saw an opportunity to attack their rear.
General Lee, you will take command of the advance force.
He ordered General Charles Lee to lead an advance force against the retreating British Army. Lee's troops moved forward through the hot countryside, closing rapidly on the British rear guard.
Target their rear! Advance! For the cause! Now, charge!
The British suddenly discovered American forces approaching and turned to meet the threat.
Hold! Look to the flank! Watch the tree line!
Continental soldiers advanced and fired musket volleys as smoke spread across the fields. But the British quickly counterattacked, pushing against the American forces with disciplined formations.
Maintain order!
Confusion began spreading through the American command as the battlefield changed around Lee's troops. Receiving conflicting reports, Lee ordered his forces to withdraw from their exposed positions. The withdrawal soon became disorganized, and American soldiers began falling back across the fields.
Excellency, the British are sweeping around our right flank. We must withdraw! Order all troops to fall back immediately! Retreat to the covered position behind the ravine! Keep the lines, men! Maintain order! Fall back to the tree line! Excellency, General Lee is in full retreat!
When Washington heard the news, he immediately rode forward to see the situation himself.
I order you to halt! Why are you retreating? Turn back and fight! I desire to know, sir. What is the reason for this? Sir, these orders were contradictory. You will stand and fight them!
Washington met Lee on the battlefield and confronted him as the American retreat continued around them.
Halt!
Then Washington took control, rallying the army and preparing a new defensive line against the British. Washington quickly formed a new defensive line, bringing his scattered soldiers together before the British could strike again.
Stand firm! Make ready! Keep moving!
American artillery moved into position, giving the Continental troops the firepower they needed to hold the field.
Position the gun! Provide your match!
Across the fields, the British saw the Americans forming again. Now they advanced to attack. American artillery was brought forward, its heavy guns prepared to support the Continental infantry. The British advanced across the open ground, expecting the Americans to retreat once again.
Fire!
Instead, Continental soldiers stood their ground as British infantry moved forward through clouds of smoke. Muskets erupted across the fields, while artillery thundered between the opposing lines.
Advance the sponge!
The Continental soldiers returned fire, holding their formation under intense British pressure. But the brutal summer heat was becoming another enemy, draining strength from soldiers on both sides. Men struggled beneath the blazing sun as officers continued pushing their formations forward.
Do not break formation! Move forward! Forward, hold the line, men! Stand firm and fire at will! Softly now, stand fast.
British troops tried to find a weakness in the American position, maneuvering through fields and wooded ground.
Step up! Reinforce the flank! Take cover and give them a volley!
Washington's soldiers reinforced the threatened positions, refusing to let the British break their line. Smoke covered the fields as musket fire and cannon blasts continued across the battlefield. The training at Valley Forge was now being tested under the pressure of real combat.
Hold your fire until they reach the marker. Stand firm and prepare to receive them.
The British attacked again, pushing forward through the
Forward,
smoke
men!
with
Keep
disciplined
the line!
infantry formations.
Present arms! Present arms!
But the
Take care,
Continental line held, answering each
Present!
British advance with controlled
Fire!
volleys.
Well done!
As the afternoon faded, exhaustion spread through both armies beneath the relentless summer heat. Neither army had broken, and the fighting gradually began to lose its intensity. Washington remained on the battlefield, watching his soldiers hold their positions.
Their defenses are stronger than anticipated.
The British had failed to destroy the Continental Army, despite repeated attacks throughout the day. As darkness approached, the battlefield finally began to fall silent. American soldiers rested beside their campfires, exhausted after hours of brutal fighting.
How many men did we lose in the orchard? Too many, sir. Half the regiment is wounded.
Across the battlefield, British soldiers prepared to continue their march toward New York.
Break camp and fall in!
During the night, the British Army quietly resumed its movement away from Monmouth. By morning, the British were gone, leaving the Continental Army on the battlefield. Washington rode across the field, surveying the positions where his army had fought. Monmouth had not produced a decisive victory, but Washington's army had accomplished something important.
Ready to form the line! Fall in by tens! Show your resolve!
The Continental soldiers had stood against experienced British troops and refused to collapse. The army that had suffered through Valley Forge had become a disciplined force capable of fighting the British. Monmouth proved Washington's army could survive a major battle, but the revolution was about to become a global war. Subscribe for Part 6, The War Goes Global.